got channel RVA pulled up here, and you can take a look at what we're cooking. Lots to dive into. However, I'm not going to dwell on this today or on my studio site. If you are new, we're doing 52 apps this year. I'm going to do more than 52, but we're going to goal for that. And we're right now sitting around 40 something, 43, 44. I'm not entirely sure, but it is getting up there. All right. Now that I have my music a little bit more balanced here, is something I've got to do every day. I'm going to go fix that problem. Well, actually, I don't think I can. I think it has to do with my headset, so I'm going to leave that alone. But what I want to do is we have three things that we're working on today. We have a roadmap item on this guy that is in need of execution. So we're going to go ahead and execute that. We worked to get that prompt built up yesterday, the e-commerce site. But we're going to go ahead and drive that one forward. And while we're doing that, I want to check on OnScreenGames.com, which is right here. We are finalizing a subscription application for conversion metrics, conversion mechanisms. So what I need to do is get into the admin section of this site, which I've been having a hard time loading. And I see no active roadmap items, which I think means that we need to populate that with our plan that we were working on yesterday. Let me see if I have anything in there. I think we were just working on getting the roadmap wired up. Okay. So I need to go into Claude and see if I can't find the build details from yesterday. This is a build plan. This is a build plan that we worked on yesterday in Claude. It doesn't have all of the technical details that you will need, but I do want to make sure that we have given consideration to the things that we've already built, things that are in this, as well as the front end needs. There's probably not a lot of consideration to the front end, but we need to get that populated in the product roadmap with details. Now, if you weren't with me yesterday, what we're doing is we're building a suite of conversion tools that companies can use on their website to be able to increase the conversion rate that they get. This will be displayed as a embeddable widget on the website, and we will. I have to figure out a subscription model for this today. I think I've been thinking about a couple different ways of doing it. One yesterday was a freemium model where we have a couple of tiers of paid subscription after the free tier. I've been thinking more about pay to play type options as well, where instead of asking people to pay a subscription fee, we would actually bill them for success. We would actually charge a fee for conversions that were had as a result of the tool. And I don't know if that's going to work either, but I think it's worth it to see if that method works. And maybe it's an option. Maybe people choose that option. And when it becomes less expensive to have the subscription, they choose a subscription. So that might be an interesting model to rock with, but we'll talk more about that as we get going here. And, if you're hanging out with me today, I don't see anything. I'm going to restart my chat. I don't see anybody over there, but that doesn't mean that you're not. So if you're hanging out with me today and you have any questions, let me know. We're going to build for 30 minutes today, so we're going to keep moving through this. We also have AI Ready Interns, which It has a different name, or yesterday it had a different name, and I'm going to fix that. But let me get into Lovable and pull that application up. All right. In order to make this platform successful, we need to incorporate a product roadmap that does not replace what we have here, but bolts onto it. We use the product roadmap to populate the sprints that we will have to be able to build a very successful project. So if the instructions told you to replace what I have, that's not what I intend. I want to incorporate a product roadmap into this. And we do not need the SDK to be deployable from this site. What we do need is the ability to have a roadmap based on the architecture that we have outlined previously. So these are instructions to be able to do that. So we got this wired up yesterday, and it's really just the front end. So we need to build the back end for this still. In order to do that, I really need to have the product roadmap installed, and you guys have seen me do that a few times over. But that is the catalyst for my builds. It's what helps me get done much faster than it would take if I were to be interfacing with the lovable chatbot one task at a time. And you can see that we're executing on that over here actively. So I asked you to populate the roadmap with these tasks. If you're telling me that they are too much for one task, then what we need to do is separate them into multiple tasks. That wasn't my failing, it was yours. So, in any event, when populating the product roadmap, sometimes it doesn't think and break things down the way that it should. So, I have had a lot more success with that than with this particular case. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to not wire up the games right now. I'll wait and do that later. And then OnScreenGames, let's see. That's pretty fast. All right, so this one will take, it probably won't take too long to get this one wired up. I think we'll be able to have something functional here today, but it's probably not going to be really robust with regard to the ability to customize those features. So um, we'll see how far we can get with it. But looks like we're already moving. It's enjoyable to watch this flow happen automatically, to see the tasks move into in progress because the agent is doing its job. And let's see. Just keep moving. Now, my roadmaps have a lot of features built into them, so I can connect my roadmaps together. We have an application that we use that manages our organization, our company, and we have the ability to manage the roadmaps from a central location. It's been something I've been working toward for a couple of months. I mean, I think the roadmap itself was always designed to be able to do that, but we didn't have the central location wired up yet, and we're not quite yet using it for our task system, which is intended to replace Asana at some point. But for now, it's just we're running both of them alongside each other, and we actually have Asana linked up to our roadmaps for our internal applications. So let's see, what do we have here? All right, so wiring up a sprint of 8 items, and we'll see how we do on the execution of that for Channel RVA. Now that we've rewired the product roadmap, and let's see here. Um, I want to remind this thing of my intention to have it built autonomously, so we'll see how it does. I've not done a Shopify store through Lovable before, so this will be the first time, but it's interesting to see that it's giving me the option to create the store right from inside Lovable, so we'll see how that goes. $1 a month, that's not bad. And let's see. This one is still working on getting a roadmap built in, so this one hopefully is going to go a little bit faster than they normally do, but it's not always easy to know. This is the plan. But what about the progress?
You're tuned into Channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
So this is live vibe coding with Will Melton, and you can check out my journey to build 52 apps at studio.willmelton.com. You can watch me live over there as well. And if you want to try to build something yourself with Lovable, you can hop over to my website or look in the description of this video to find the referral code that will get you 10 free credits. and allow you to start building over at Lovable. So, a great program. I'm not paid by them in any way. I just have found it to be incredibly easy to leverage it to deploy. And I have, like I said, about 44, 43, 44 applications. I haven't added everything in here yet. I've got some work to do on that front, but when I do publish these, they do end up getting ingested into this pretty quickly. So since OnScreenGames is already a live site, I'm actually going to go ahead and log in and go and add this application. And I've created an importer because I cannot be bothered to do this manually. So the importer goes and scrapes the website, finds the screenshot, gets the information it needs, and we will have a nice little application built into this thing. I can't remember if I built that on Saturday or Sunday last week, so we'll just pick a day. It's still this year, so it doesn't really matter. Create the app, and then I still have to go down and put the date on there. I guess we'll say it was that episode. And I thought there was a place for me. Oh, there's the date. Okay, so we've got that one there. Let's see how our product roadmap is doing. Now, one of the things that I want to do with this site is be intentional about um, uh, I'll get this website and make sure that we get a lot of information out of here. There is resources. Okay, let's see. I'm just reading through these materials. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Relevant to our meeting with the senator the other day, I'm looking at the Virginia Works. Basically, I want to get all this internship stuff from the state synthesized. Trying to figure out how best to do this. So I'm going to probably use Claude to get me there. Go ahead and go to Opus. And I'm going to drop in some of these resources that I've downloaded. Now I'm adding this to my live vibe coding project. I'll do that in a minute because it has some context. I am building a internship platform for small businesses so that they can start their internship program. It's a free resource that we're making available to Richmond businesses. And I wanted to make sure that the information that's available in these resources are worked into our website and plan. I'm specifically interested in the funding resources that are available to support internships and making that one of the core resources on our website. Please help me compile this information and give me a work plan to weave it into what we've been building. And I don't know why I can't select from all projects here, so that'll just have to be something that we do after we start. I can do it from here too. This is the way to do it. Hmm. All right. So I'm going to work for 5 more minutes here, and let me see where we're at. Looks like we are somewhere in the middle of a build. All right. And then let's see where we're at over here.
You're tuned into channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
But in any event, getting Shopify set up here so that we can build our store. And the only thing I have right now is a t-shirt design that we can transfer to a poster and a coffee mug and some different things, different apparel. Um, so that's what we're going to be working on there. And then we're going to actually tie that up with Printful to be able to handle the drop shipping. So that's all part of this sprint right here. Multiple steps in that. Here we are working on the product roadmap, advancing OnScreenGames, which is going to be a subscription platform for conversion tools that can be embedded directly on a company's website, and those leads can be populated into wherever they need to be populated. CRM, Slack. Otherwise, I probably should get that added to the roadmap. One of the key elements that we're going to have to add to the roadmap is to map this into different CRMs via API. We need to make it easy for people to connect to those tools. Same thing with Slack. It's nice for people to be able to automatically connect to Slack and drop lead notifications there. And then we're going to have to make sure that we send notifications via email whenever leads are generated. That's a critical thing that people are going to need. We can eventually we'll get that text message wired into that. But for now, just kind of building the suite. And actually, of all the things that I usually build, I don't have a. This was supposed to be an information website that will help us sell games and gamification. However, what ended up happening was, as I started thinking through it, I realized that a lot of my clients need these tools, and instead of trying to build them custom every time, why don't I create a suite that people can pull off the shelf? So I'm going to keep this sprint going and grab this guy over here. Keep rocking and rolling on our roadmap. See how we're doing on this build. It looks like pushing right along. I've got two things open here, but continuing to work on that Shopify plan. Let's see what they gave us. I have some things to add to the roadmap. I want to make sure that we're aligned closely with the Virginia internship program, and there's a bunch of details that I want to integrate into the system. All right. And we're at time, but I'm going to run over just a little bit so that I can get into my dashboard and see where my roadmap is. Roadmap's not working. Let's see if admin/roadmap works. And I can't see my roadmap, but it's there in hypothetical. This is not the roadmap that. Oh man. the product roadmap here resembles nothing of our product roadmap that I instructed you to build. I'm going to give you access to that project so that you can have additional clarity, but I need you to make the roadmap work the way that it works for all of my products. This is always a burden for me to cross over. I'll figure out a way one of these days. This is still working. This is. Let's get some new sprint items assembled here. Keep that going. But as I said, I wanted to see how far I can get in 30 minutes today, and I feel like we made some pretty darn good progress on our sprints, and we're still actively moving through them. A little bit of a bump in the road on my roadmap here, but it is all right. I will address it and move on. And we're going to have a really great internship program. This is not something I'm going to build entirely on my own. It is something that needs to be built in the community. And so I'll bring in my friends at AI Ready RVA here soon to help us think about this and to make sure that it ties in with the other things that we are building. There's a lot of exciting things on the horizon for um, anyway, that's going to be something that we're going to be bringing to market here pretty quickly, along with a couple of other tools that are going to really help the region get ahead on AI. We have a vision and we've got the hard workers that will do the lift. We just need to get it done and bring folks to the table. So, this program, this Intern Connect program, I do believe is going to be a success. And we'll rename this. I think I bought another domain today, or I did buy another domain. I don't think I did. That we'll be able to use. It makes a little bit more sense. AI Ready Interns.com. This is for Central Virginia, and we'll continue to make it for that. But I just think that AI Ready Interns.com sounded better. I don't know, just rolls off the tongue. So, with that, I will wrap up today's session, and I thank you again for hanging out with me and watching me build. Hopefully, you learned something, and I hope you join me again next Saturday. I go live at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Um, I actually think I'm going to change my schedule because 1 o'clock is smack dab in the middle of a Saturday. And so perhaps that will be what you see coming up. But if I do it, it's probably going to be around 11 a.m. Just to give me a little bit more time in the morning. But with that, signing off. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.